Science at Home logo animation appears. It's a house with a heart in the middle of it, magenta background. Text on screen reading Science at Home, Scientist Spotlight text right below it.
Hello, my name is Audrey Sherman.
Scientist Audrey Sherman appears sitting in her office at 3M Center.
And I'm a division scientist at 3M Company.
Transition slide appears. What do you do and how is it relevant to science? Audrey in her office responding to the question.
As a scientist at 3M, and in particular a division scientist at 3M, every day I get to look across my division to find problems that the customer has and spend my day looking back into the company for solutions to those customers' problems.
Transition slide appears. What is one of your earliest memories with science?
When I was a kid, I used to love going into the bathroom and mixing things into some kind of concoction. And so that kind of spurred me on to like what I do today. I called it cooking. We were basically cooking. That's what really got me interested in science, is just trying to learn what happens when you mix all this stuff up together and what could we create.
Transition slide appears, reading, what inspired you to pursue science?
I was inspired to do science by a 3M scientist that visited my 11th grade chemistry class. And this was a female scientist. And her description of her job all day at work was that she got to cook, she used the word again, she got to cook polymers. And then because it was her job, she also made money to afford a sports car. So listening to that at my desk, I heard a female scientist say, I got to cook polymers all day and drive a sports car. And that was it. I was sold. That was what I was determined to do.
Transition slide appears, reading, what is one of your favorite things about being a scientist?
One of my favorite things about being a scientist is that I get to use my skill to create new polymers from molecules that actually enable products that make people's lives easier. So it's so much fun to know that what I'm doing with my scientific background really improves people's lives, makes their tasks easier, and just creates a lot of joy in the world.
Transition slide appears, reading, if you could help break a stereotype about being a scientist, what would it be?
If I could change a misconception about science or being a scientist, it would be that scientists know all the answers. When you're learning about science, yes, there's an answer that they're expecting you to get. But that isn't science. I often tell students that I work with that we're not able to look to the back of the book at the odd numbers and find the answer. We're actually making the answer. That means that what we learn is always correct. And I love that part.
Transition slide appears, reading, what advice would you give an aspiring scientist, inventor, or creator?
If you're an aspiring scientist or inventor or creator, my advice to you would be, first of all, dream really big. Just really throw it out there. Eventually, it will come back into something possible and doable. But only you can throw it out far enough. Other people will not be able to throw as far as you can. You throw it out far, and then by the time it comes back, you're going to have something that no one ever dreamed of. That's inventing, that's creating, that's being very innovative.
Science at Home logo reappears. Scientist Spotlight text below. The 3M bumper animation appears.